Are we living in an inheritocracy? So the global value of inheritances is going to reach about $6 trillion next year. That's an enormous sum of money. Like inequality, overall, inheritance as a share of the economy reached a high point around 1900 and then began falling dramatically throughout the 20th century to a low point around the mid 70s, when mysteriously both of those things began rising again. No one knows why, nothing to do with politics, I'm sure. Inheritance is now twice as important to the UK economy as it was in the 1980s. In Germany, the share of the economy has tripled since the 1970s. We're supposed to live in a meritocracy. Obviously, we all know that's not actually how things work. Ask me which 20-something actor has descended from someone who was killed in a 15th century peasants' rebellion. That one's not a joke. But we all are aware this is the idea we're supposed to be working towards, right? But now inheritance is giving people a bigger and bigger advantage. If you have wealth to inherit, especially if you have property to inherit, you're not playing the same game as the rest of us. But this goes well beyond inherited property. All billionaires worldwide under 30 have now inherited their wealth. And you know what's interesting? Something hasn't risen alongside the value of inheritance globally is inheritance tax receipts. So UK inheritance now makes up about 9% of the UK's economy. The last time its share of the economy was this large, in the early 1950s, inheritance tax made up about 3% of overall national income. It now makes up just 0.3%, despite it having the same share of the economy. The inequality this creates is a problem for all of us, but there's also a lot of people who benefit from this system, and they have a perverse incentive to defend this system and the crisis it creates. And we already know that our political systems are much more responsive to people with wealth, which is presumably why inheritance tax has disappeared in a lot of the global north. We urgently need to introduce wealth taxes and find other ways of tackling this toxic wealth accumulation and the inequality it creates. If we don't, the society the next generation inherits will be a deeply broken one.